कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावन चारी तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय द्वारका मथुरापुरी धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदायिनी श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय श्री श्री निताई गौरचंद्र भगवान की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So, we are reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, Chapter 7, verse number 12, and we will also read verse number 13 and 14. So this is conclusion of 7th chapter then. Is there any verse? No, I mean, how would you repeat the verse if it is not written?
We haven't written it now.
Okay, no problem.
Sometimes in this fifth canto it has been very long and
Yes.
not in poetical form.
No problem.
But we can
So
do
I'll
word by word if you like.
Yes. So let's do that first. Text number 12. Taya, by that. Uttama, in this manner. Avirata, constant. Purusha, of the Supreme Lord. Paricharyaya, by service. Bhagavati, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pravardhamana, constantly increasing. Anuraga, of attachment. Bhara, by the load. Dhruta, melted. Hrudaya, heart. Shaithilya, laxity. Praharsha vegana, by the force of transcendental ecstasy. Atmani, in his body. Udbhidyamana Roma, Pulaka Kulakaha, standing of the hair on end. Outkantya, because of intense longing. Pravarta, produced. Pranaya Bashpa Niruddha, Avaloka Nayana, awakening of tears of love in the eyes. Obstructing the vision. Evam, thus. Nija Ramana Aruna Charana Aravinda, Nija Ramana Aruna Charana Aravinda, on the Lord's reddish lotus feet. Anudhyana, by meditating. Parichita, increased. Bhakti Yogena, by dint of devotional service. Paripluta, spreading everywhere. Parama, highest. Ahlada, of spiritual bliss. Gambhira, very deep. Hrudaya Hrida, in the heart which is compared to a lake. Which is compared to a lake. Avagadha, immersed. Dhishanaha, whose intelligence. Tam, that api although kriyamanam executing Bhagavat of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Saparyam the worship na not sasmara remember tayethamavirata purusha paricharya ya bhagavati pravardhaman anuraga bharadhruta hrudaya shaithilya praharshavegenatmanya udbhidyamana roma pulaka kulaka outkanthya pravritta pramaya bashpa niruddha avalokanayana Nijaramanaru charanaravindanudhana parichita bhakti yogena paripluta parimahalada gambhira hrudaya hrudavagadhadhishanas evam tamapi kriyamanam bhagavatparyana sasmara. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The most exalted devotee Maharaj Bharat in this way engaged constantly in the devotional service of the Lord. Naturally, his love for Vasudeva Krishna increased more and more and melted his heart. Consequently, he gradually lost all attachment for regulative duties. The hairs of his body stood on end, and all the ecstatic bodily symptoms were manifest. Tears flowed from his eyes, so much so that he could not see anything. Thus, he constantly meditated on the reddish lotus feet of the Lord. At that time, his heart, which was like a lake, was filled with the water of ecstatic love. When his mind was immersed in that lake, he even forgot the regulative service to the Lord. Purport. When one is actually advanced in ecstatic love for Krishna, 8 transcendental blissful symptoms are manifest in the body. Those are the symptoms of perfection arising from loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since Maharaj Bharat was constantly engaged in devotional service, all the symptoms of ecstatic love were manifest in his body. Text number 13. Itham dhruta bhagavad bhata ene yajinavasasanu savanabhishekar ardra kapisha kutila jatakalapena chavirochamanaha suryarcha bhagavantya hiranyamayam purusha munjihani surya mandale abhyupatit patishthane taduho vacha. Translation. Maharaj Bharat appeared very beautiful. He had a wealth of curly hair on his head, which was wet from bathing 3 times daily. He worshipped Lord Narayan, whose body was composed of golden effulgence and who resided within the sun. Maharaj Bharat worshipped Lord Narayan by chanting the hymn given in the Rig Veda, and he recited the following verse as the sun rose. Purport. The predominating deity within the sun is Hiranyamaya, Lord Narayan. He is worshipped by the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. He is also worshipped by other hymns mentioned in the Rig Veda. For instance, Dhyayeha Sada Savita Mandala Madhyam Varati. Within the sun, Lord Narayan is situated, and he has a golden hue. Text number 14. Paro rajaha savitur jata vedo devasya bhargo manasedam jajan sureta sadaha punaravishya chaste hamsam grudhanam nrupadrish shringarami maha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in pure goodness. He illuminates the entire universe and bestows all benedictions upon his devotees. The Lord has created this universe from his own spiritual potency. According to his desire, the Lord entered this universe as the Super Soul, and by virtue of his different potencies, he is maintaining all living entities desiring material enjoyment. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who is the giver of intelligence. Purport. The predominating deity of the sun is another expansion of Narayan, who is illuminating the entire universe. The Lord enters the heart of all living entities as the Super Soul, and he gives them intelligence and fulfills their material desires. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto. I am sitting in everyone's heart. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. As the Super Soul, the Lord enters the hearts of all living entities, as stated in Brihad Brahma Samhita 5.35. Andantarastha paramanuchayantarastham. He enters the universe and the atom as well. In the Rig Veda, the predominating deity of the sun is worshipped by this mantra. Dhyayeya sada savitra mandala madhya varati narayana sarasijashana sannivishta. Narayan sits on his lotus flower within the sun. By reciting this mantra, every living entity should take shelter of Narayan, just as the sun rises. According to modern scientists, the material world rests on the sun's effulgence. Due to the sunshine, all planets are rotating and vegetables are growing. We also have information that the moonshine helps vegetables and herbs grow. Actually, Narayan within the sun is maintaining the entire universe. Therefore, Narayan should be worshipped by the Gayatri mantra or the Rig mantra. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of 5th canto, 7th chapter of Srimad-Bhagavatam, entitled The Activities of King Bharat. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-sharakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangham Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this particular section of Srimad-Bhagavatam is very interesting. Teachings of Bharat Maharaj, and actually Bharat Maharaj's life is filled with so many lessons for us like practicing devotees. All the people in this world, be spiritual or non-spiritual, they are actually looking for role models. You always want some role model. And for a spiritual sadhaka, spiritual practitioner, we also have many role models, and their profiles are mentioned in Srimad-Bhagavatam. And Bharat Maharaj is one of the role models that we can follow. Of course, it's very difficult to imitate these role models, but we can follow their footsteps. So Bharat Maharaj, he is eldest son of Vrishabdev, King Vrishab. We just saw in previous chapters of this canto glories about Vrishabdev, how he was teaching to his sons, 100 sons, and then finally he gave up everything, he renounced everything, and then he coronated Bharat Maharaj as a king of that kingdom. And all the other brothers of Bharat Maharaj, they followed his father's instructions very nicely, and they cooperated very nicely, and they worked together, and they served Bharat Maharaj. They didn't say that, why only Bharat Maharaj is coronated as king? Why not me? We have this tendency, why not me? I'm not competent enough. But they were following the authority. Vrishabdev, he instructed that Bharat Maharaj is going to be a king, and then others, without any objections, anonymously accepted that authority of Vrishabdev. So this is very important lesson that we should learn in our devotional practice also, because one time somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, what pleases you most? And Srila Prabhupada said that, if you want to express your love to me, then show your love by cooperating with each other. Prabhupada said, you can show your love to me by cooperating with each other. And what is the purpose of that cooperation? Cooperating with each other, not for some evil cause. For evil cause also people come together and cooperate with each other. Not for some evil cause, but to keep this institution together when I leave this body. To keep this movement, to keep ISKCON together. And this is the very, very loving instruction that Prabhupada gave us, that we should cooperate with each other. We may have differences of opinion, we may have different ways of working, different ways of looking at this moment, but we should keep our ego, we should keep our differences outside ISKCON and then cooperate with each other. This is extremely important lesson we should learn from the life of Bharat Maharaj and his brothers. Sometimes, knowingly, unknowingly, we criticize devotees. Sometimes it begins with the criticizing our peers, devotees who are very close by to us, and then gradually it increases to we start to criticize some senior devotees, and then if we are not careful enough, then we even start to criticize temple management. Temple management is not doing this, and this is not good for ISKCON, this is not good for this is not actually supporting my spiritual practices, and this and that. But we forget that temple management is an authority, right? Sometimes if we are so careless, we even criticize the senior devotees like sannyasis and even governing body. I mean, what qualification do we have to criticize governing body? What qualification do we have to criticize the temple management? What is our contribution in ISKCON? At the first, we should ask this question: what is our contribution? What are we doing? Right? So we should be extremely careful before criticizing any temple devotee or temple management or governing body or ISKCON in general, because we have to accept that authority, and that this authority is not coming from some strange people. This authority, Prabhupada himself, he appointed governing body, and this governing body is appointing temple management. So we should accept that authority. What adhikar do we have to criticize the devotees here? We should not forget that this is a prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, his name will be chanted in every town and villages, right? So if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying he is God himself, he is Krishna himself, if he is saying, then it is bound to happen, right? Whether you are a part of that movement or not, that is your choice. But we should not feel that because of me this movement is growing. Because of me, I am going on the streets. Jai Shri Srinitaya Gaur Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. I am speaking in front of devotees, and that is why devotees are being serious in the Krishna consciousness movement. We should not think like that. This is a prophecy coming from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is going to happen. His name will be chanted in every town and villages. It's up to us whether we want to be a part of this prophecy, whether we want to be a part of this movement. Srila Prabhupada, he said, this movement will last at least for 10,000 years, and it just 50 years have passed. So, still long way to go. So we don't have to worry about, we have to participate. It's up to us to be a part of this movement or not. So we should not think that we are the savior of this movement. After Prabhupada, I am the only savior of ISKCON. Sometimes we feel that, hey, you are doing all kind of rubbish. You don't know how to manage. You don't know how to preach. You don't know how to sing. You don't know how to give a lecture. I am the only one who can save this movement. So we should come out of this illusory thinking that I am the savior. We should be always in the mood of a servant. We are the servant of the Prabhupada, and we are the servant of the servant of the servant of the Prabhupada, right? So we should only work on the task that has been given to us, and what is adhikar, what is in our adhikar, what is in our authority. So that's why we should be very careful, and basically we should ask one question to us, why are we in ISKCON? What is the purpose that we are in ISKCON? Why are we in ISKCON? Yes? What is the purpose? Sorry?
He said that he likes to serve devotees.
Yes, amazing, serving the devotees. Yes, but sometimes people they think that ISKCON is like I want to learn some yoga, some meditation or yoga. Yoga is nowadays and I want to be a vegetarian, vegan. Vegan is very trendy nowadays, all over the world. Vegan community is growing. It's good in a way, in one sense, but ISKCON is far beyond vegetarianism and vegan. That is important, but there is something higher than that. So if somebody wants to be vegan or vegetarian, then okay, let's join ISKCON. Or if you want to control your mind or your body, Om Tat Sat, you are the one. Or sometimes you want to experience very adventurous lifestyle. Get up at 3 in morning, sleep at 10 or 11 in night, get up at 3 in morning, and then move around the roads, and the adventurous life. And sometimes people feel that it's very trendy, it's very fashionable to wear some kanti mala and then put on some marks on your head. So are these the purposes that we are in ISKCON? Definitely not. The main purpose that we are in ISKCON is to be Krishna conscious. Why are we in ISKCON? To be Krishna conscious. And this is the main purpose. This is the first and foremost purpose that we are in ISKCON. And we should not forget this purpose, to be Krishna conscious. And whatever is not supporting me to be a Krishna conscious, we should neglect that, and whatever is supporting me to be a Krishna conscious, we should accept that. Yeah? So if you read the letters ISKCON, ISKCON, so IS is KC, Krishna consciousness. Is your Krishna consciousness on? We should always ask this question. Is our Krishna consciousness on? If it is good, if it is on, it's good. But if it is off, if your Krishna consciousness is off, then that leads to offense. We start committing offenses after offenses and after offenses. Yeah? Offenses toward the devotees, offenses toward the deities, offenses toward the scriptures. Yeah? And Lord Krishna, he is Kalpataru. He mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yathamam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. You know, as you surrender unto me, I reward you accordingly. So Lord Krishna reciprocates as per your own desire. So if you are looking for mismanagement, you will see a lot of mismanagement in ISKCON. If you are looking for controversies, you will find more controversies in ISKCON than in outside world. Because Krishna, this is what you are looking for, and the Lord is providing that to you. Yeah? So we should be extremely careful. We should be extremely careful to avoid the offenses toward the devotees. Offenses toward the devotees, and avoid the judgmentalism, because the judgmentalism is deeply rooted disease, and that is called fault finding. We don't see good in other, we always see faults in other, and that is why we should avoid the judgmentalism. It is said in Kali Yuga, we are fortunate that if we do some mental sin, then those mental sins are not counted, unless you speak those or unless you act on those bad thoughts. But that is not the case with offenses. If you are committing even mental offenses, they will get reactions. If not coming from the Lord, you yourself will experience those reactions, and you will not realize the point where you are kicked out of this moment. So you should be extremely careful about the mental offenses. And if one commit the offense, then he is off the fence. Off the fence of whom? Of the devotee care. Right? So we are under the devotee protection. The Lord is definitely there, but we don't have access straight away to the Lord. We are reaching to the Lord through the devotees, and if you are committing the offenses toward the devotees, then you are off the fence from the devotee protection. And if devotees are not protecting you, then God knows who will save us. Yes. So by meditating on the faults of others, we are giving shelter to those faults in us. And that is why we should always remember the first priority in our life. The first priority in our life is to keep first priority as first priority. What does that mean? The first priority on our life is to be Krishna conscious. And the first priority of our life is to keep this Krishna conscious attitude as first all the time. So Bharat Maharaj, he was appointed as king by Vrishabdev. Vrishabdev, he is an incarnation of Lord himself. So Bharat Maharaj is a son of Lord in that sense. So he ruled the world, whole world, just like his father did, Vrishabdev. And so he was the ruler of whole world, not the Bharat Varsha. Sometimes we have this misconception why all the gods are taking birth in Bharat, in India only. The people always ask this question. But during those days, the whole world was known as a Bharat Varsha, and Finland was also part of the Bharat Varsha during that time. So don't worry about that. You are a part of that movement. Yeah. So Bharat Maharaj, he was ruling the world, and he was teaching the citizens how to perfect the life, how to liberate the soul, and everything is a property of God. And Bharat Maharaj, he was providing every opportunity to everyone. This is very rare in nowadays. Bharat Maharaj was providing every opportunity to everyone, and that is why all the people were very happy in his rule. The whole world was so happy with Bharat Maharaj that they named this world as Bharatvarsha. The Bharatvarsha, and nowadays we are calling. India is known as Bharat traditionally. Nowadays they call India in English language, which has a completely different story. But this Bharatvarsha, the Bharat, because of Bharat Maharaj, this Bharatvarsha, it has some spiritual substance in it. So Bharat Maharaj, he had 5 children, and when his 5 children, they grew up, Bharat Maharaj, he was actually undisputed king of all the direction. He was undisputed king. And when his children, they grew up, Bharat Maharaj, he decided to renounce everything. Just like Rishabh Dev, he also renounced everything when he was at peak of his success. Bharat Maharaj was also peak of his success. Nothing was left to be unconquered in the ring of Bharat Maharaj. So he was peak of his success, and he just decided to renounce everything. Why could he renounce everything? Because he had something to renounce, and that's why he was renouncing. Sometimes we are also very proud that I renounce my these possessions, I renounce my family, I renounce my this, and I renounce my that. But we are forgetting here that we don't have anything to renounce. There is one saying in English that lack of opportunity is morality. We were not getting that one thing, and if we are not getting one thing, then we just say that I just renounce that. I know that I cannot purchase 3 summer cottages in around Helsinki area, so I'll just say I renounce those 3 summer cottages. So we don't have anything to renounce. But still we are very proud that how renounced I am. I'm renouncing this, I'm renouncing that. How much possessions can one person have? 1 car, 2 car, 1 bungalow, 2 bungalow, 2 or 3 summer cottages, 1 boat, or what else? A red passport, green passport, yellow passport, blue passport. Yeah? But these are nothing. These are like pennies, even less than that in front of Bharat Maharaj's possessions. And Bharat Maharaj, he still renounced it. Can you imagine the palace Bharat Maharaj was living? He was the king of whole world, not king of one country. He was king of the whole world. Can you imagine the food that he was eating, the golden plates and silver plates, and then popularity he had? There are many rich peoples you can see, but are they really popular? In good sense, I'm saying, in good sense. The Bharat Maharaj, he was popular all over the world, and that is why people renamed this world after his name. And he had very lovely family. All the family members, they were loving him. All the citizens, they were loving him. This is very unusual in nowadays. No politician, no prime minister, no president can say that all the citizens are loving me. Nobody can claim that. And current prime minister or president of any strong economy, any big countries, they are always in anxiety because their tenure is ending after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and they are always in anxiety because whether I'll be re-elected or not. If not that, they are always in anxiety of any attack from outside, disease or death. Yeah? So Bharat Maharaj, he had all these opulences and still he decided to renounce everything. Right? We don't have anything to renounce, as just we said, but whatever little we have, Srila Rupa Goswami, he says that we need not to renounce anything, we need not to give up anything, but to utilize everything in positive, favorable, devotional service with love and affection. Yeah? So whatever possessions we have, if we have phone, if we have notebook, we have some money, if we have some time, we have this body. Yeah? So we need not to give up all the whatever little amount of possessions we have, but rather use those possessions in the service of the Lord with love and affection. And here comes problem. People, they don't want to give up anything. Yeah? This is another very important lesson that we should learn from Bharat Maharaj. He was at the peak of success and he could renounce everything lovingly. He was not giving it up forcefully, but lovingly, out of the pure love to the Lord, Krishna. But we don't have anything, and whatever little possessions we have, we are still not able to renounce it. We are not saying renounce it. We are saying give it up, and we are still not able to give it up. Just a simple example: retirement. People, they don't want to retire from their jobs. Forget about the spirituality. Just keep spirituality aside for a while. Just think about your position in one office. The managers, the old people, they don't want to retire. Sometimes the other people in that office, they have to kick that person out. You are retired now, just go away. Let us work. Sometimes in research area, these old managers, although they are retired, they will continue to come in that office and continue to try to control that office. Yeah. If not, then they'll appoint, in their tenure, they'll appoint somebody as their successor to whom they already know, so that they will still have their control in that office after their retirement. Right? So this is the way people, they are attached to that position, attached to those facilities. They don't want to renounce it. Yeah? And that is why we should also learn that these material possessions, we should give them up. The material possessions, whatever little amount we have, they are like a stool, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm speaking very gross today, but they are like a stool. You have to give it up at some point of time. It doesn't matter, what delicacies you ate. Samosa or kachori or whatever, it is going to be turned into stinky, filthy stool a day after, right? And you cannot say that, I love samosa so much, I don't want to give up this samosa from my belly, right? Next day you have to give it up because it is a stool now, right? So you can give it up voluntarily as a regular habit, or you're forced by nature to give it up. How long you can hold your stool in your stomach? Not for a long, right? You either give it up voluntarily or you're forced to give it up by nature. So similarly, all our possessions, you either give it up voluntarily or use it in the service of the Krishna, that is giving up voluntarily, or you will be forced by the nature to give it up. Nature, time is very strong factor. Time will take all your possessions away from you in the form of disease, in the form of old age, if not nothing, then in the form of death. After that you cannot carry anything. So anyway, you have to give up your material possessions in the form of death. Why not to give it in the service of the Lord voluntarily? Because anyway you have to lose it, either voluntarily or forcefully. So why not to lose it for voluntarily? Yeah? So this is very strong message that Bharat Maharaj is teaching us. Sometimes devotees, they are they are giving up their possession, material possessions, but we are also attached to some specific services. Yeah? We like some specific service. Yeah? Sometimes we don't like cleaning the floor, but it's nice to sit on a Vyasasana and give a lecture, yes, or sing in front of deities when all the huge crowd of a huge number of devotees are attending the Kirtan festival, and yes, so that is a service in one sense, but we are attached to that service. Yeah? Yeah. So attaching to devotional service is not bad actually, in one sense. You can be attached to a devotional service, but you should not be attached to the facilities of that devotional service. What are those facilities? The kind of a name and fame that you will be getting. Oh wow, this Prabhu is singing so wonderful kirtan. Wow, I like that. Yes, I'm singing so beautiful kirtan. Yeah, this devotee is giving amazing class. Yes, I can. I'm giving amazing class. Yes, yeah. Yeah, this devotee is excellent in book distribution. Yes, I am. I have that art of distributing books. So we should not be attached to the facilities of the devotional service, because the devotional service that you're doing, along with devotional service, you also get some benefits of the devotional service. And if you are attached to those benefits of the devotional service, for example, name, fame, proximity of the devotees, the property wherein you are living, if you are attached, then we are actually incomplete. Then we are incomplete or imperfect then. Yeah. Yeah. In Srimad-Bhagavatam, it is said, Dharmasya hi apavargasya. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. We should engage all our occupational services for the liberation. Yeah? We should render devotional service and not be attached to the devotional service, the benefits of the devotional service. You can be attached to the devotional service, but you should not be attached to the benefits of the devotional service, because if you are attached to the benefits of the devotional service, then it causes bondage, and we may get distracted from the actual purpose, actual substance of the devotional service. Yeah? So we can get so many benefits out of devotional service, but we should always remember the benefits that we are getting out of devotional service are for Krishna to enjoy. It is not for me to enjoy. Whatever name and fame that we are getting, it is for Krishna to enjoy. It is for Srila Prabhupada to enjoy. No doubt we want our movement to grow. No doubt we want to distribute as many books as possible. No doubt we want to arrange a very beautiful Kirtan festival so that we can attract more and more devotees. But all these enjoyments, they are for Krishna. They are not for our own enjoyment. So we should always remember this very profound lesson that Bharat Maharaj is teaching to all of us. So Bharat Maharaj, he was a devotee king. So he left everything at one place without a single thought, as I mentioned, out of love. He was leaving everything aside out of love. He was not frustrated, and that's why he chose to come in Krishna consciousness. Artho artharthi jnani, Many times in Kali Yuga, people turn to spirituality when they are frustrated. Bharat Maharaj was not frustrated in his life. He was happy there. But just out of love, he surrendered unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Many times people turn to spirituality out of frustration. If you have money crisis, I don't have anybody to speak. I don't have my family with me. I don't find any beautiful girlfriend or wife. So let's turn out to spirituality. Yeah? Or my body is paining. I have a lot of diseases now. So let's come to God's home and then chant some name, because this pain is actually excruciating pain. I cannot tolerate that pain. Or if not something, then okay, I'm too old, my body is not supporting my enjoyment, so anyway I cannot enjoy outside, so why not to come and just chant some few rounds here and get the benefits. Yeah. So Bharat Maharaj, he didn't come to spirituality out of frustration. He came to spirituality, he renounced everything at the lotus feet of the Lord out of love and not out of the frustration. And there are very many examples in Srimad-Bhagavatam and in our scriptures. Many kings who were at peak of their success and they renounced everything out of the love. Bharat Maharaj is classical example. His father Rishabdev, he also renounced everything. He had everything and he renounced everything. And then Yudhishthir Maharaj, he fought such a huge battle of Kurukshetra and then won a kingdom and then ruled a kingdom, and then after some time he just renounced. When Parikshit Maharaj grew up, he just renounced it. And Parikshit Maharaj, he was also at the peak of the success, and when he came to know that he is going to die, he just renounced everything without a single thought. He didn't think that okay, let me go back to my palace and arrange everything and coronate somebody as a king and arrange something for my wife and other kids and other citizens. As soon as he heard that he is going to die, he just immediately renounced everything. And there are some other examples like kings like Dhritarashtra, father of Kaurava. He was so attached to that throne, he was so attached to that kingdom that even after losing a battle, Yudhishthir Maharaj won the battle, and Dhritarashtra, he lost all his 100 sons and he lost the kingdom and all. And Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was coronated as a king, and still Dhritarashtra was living in that palace. And then Mahatma Yudhir had to come and intervene, and he was actually scolding Dhritarashtra Maharaj, are you not feeling ashamed? You lost everything. Now just go away from this palace and renounce yourself and focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are these people like this also. So we should always think about ourselves and put ourselves in which bracket we are fitting in. Of course, we are not like Rishabdev or Bharat Maharaj that we are renouncing everything at one place and going into the Himalayas. That is not the case here. But Srila Prabhupada, he is saying that engage all the senses, engage all the possessions that you have in the service of the Krishna. So Bharat Maharaj, he went to the Himalayan mountains and a place called Pulashram, and then it is next to, he was living on the banks of river Gandaki. Now this Gandaki river is very sacred, purifying river, because this river is abode of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is residing there, and Lord Vishnu, he is incarnating as Shaligram Shila in Gandaki river, and there are so many Shaligram Shilas, countless Shaligram Shilas in Gandaki rivers, and Shaligram Shilas are found only in Gandaki river. They are not found anywhere, in any other places. They are only found in Gandaki river. And the Shaligram Shilas, they are manifested deities of Lord Vishnu. They are manifested. They are not ordinary stones. Apparently they look like a stone, but they are not ordinary stones. And interesting thing about the Shaligram Shilas are, they don't have to be installed, just like other deities. They don't have to be installed. You just reach to there, and there are installed deities manifested in your hand, right there, for full worship. For full worship. So the Shaligram Shilas, they are very auspicious, very purifying to the devotees. So this Gandaki river, from where Shaligram Shilas are coming, it is like a mother of Lord. And since Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, is coming from the Gandaki river, the water of Gandaki river, the whole water is a Charanamrita. After Abhishek, when we bathe the Lord, we drink that Charanamrita. So the whole water of Gandaki river is Charanamrita, because Lord is coming from the Gandaki river. So Bharat Maharaj, he worshipped those Shaligram Shila on the banks of river Gandaki, and guess what he was using to worship Shaligram Sila? He was just using some leaves of flowers and some tulsi leaves, and he was using Gandaki river water and some leaves. This is what he was using to worship Shaligram Sila. Now you can imagine, he was previously emperor of the world, and can you imagine the puja he was doing when he was a king, with the golden plates and silver plates and a lot of jewelry and diamonds and rubies and silk and whatnot. And now he has only just water and some leaves, some tulsi leaves. But his devotion remains same. When he had everything, he had a lot of devotion, and now he apparently doesn't have anything materially. He still has same kind of a devotion with him. So his devotion is same. Since he was not attached to the facilities that he was having as a king, he could still retain that devotional attitude when he lost those facilities right now, right? So Bharat Maharaj, he was completely immersed in worshipping the Lord. He was wearing only deer skin around, and he was in so much of a love for Krishna, and he offered many beautiful prayers to the Krishna, and when he would take a bath, he would offer those prayers to the rising sun. And still in India, many people, they go and take a bath in a river, and then they worship the rising sun. So Bharat Maharaj, he was worshipping rising sun. Why? Because just like in the today's purport we read that a predominating deity is Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan is giving energy. Lord Narayan is giving power to the sun and to the moon also. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita also that Lord Krishna, he is saying that I am the light of sun and moon. Yeah? And that is why the Brahmin initiated devotees, they chant Gayatri mantra and other Rigveda mantra. So this Gayatri mantra is an offering of our love and gratitude to Lord Krishna. Yeah? Because Lord Krishna is manifesting in the form of sun, and because of the sun this whole creation is existing. Now who can appreciate the existence of sun more than Finnish people? Yeah. Maybe in India we don't appreciate existence of sun because we have an ample amount of sunlight there, and sometimes it's 40 degrees Celsius, 45, 47. Sometimes even it reaches to 50 degrees Celsius. Can you imagine central oven system? So that's why in India people don't appreciate, but here in Finland or in Nordic region where sun god, he appears very rarely, maybe 50 or 60 days a year. Yeah. So we should be really grateful to the sun god. We should be really grateful because of the sun only. This whole creation is existing. All kind of vegetation and people we are living in because of the sun. So we should appreciate the existence of sun. We should appreciate the sunlight. But what are we doing? And we are waiting for the sunlight. We are waiting for the summer season for 8 months here in Finland. And when summer comes, actually, we go outside to take sun bath. And when instead of looking at sun, we are just putting on sunglasses. We don't want to see sun. We just want to get benefits from the sun. We don't want to see the sun. Yeah. So Bharat Maharaj, he was seeing Krishna everywhere. He was seeing Krishna everywhere. Not everything as Krishna. There is difference. You are seeing everything as a Krishna. I am Krishna, you are Krishna, this is Krishna, here is Krishna. In one sense that is true, but that is not perfection. But Bharat Maharaj, he was seeing Krishna everywhere. He was seeing Krishna in sun, he was seeing Krishna in river, he was seeing Krishna in plants, he was Krishna in stone, he was seeing Krishna everywhere. And his heart was so soft, his heart started to melt with the love for Krishna. Anuraga bhara druta hridaya. This is what we read today. And Anuraga Bhara Dhruta Hridaya. Bharat Maharaja's heart started to melt out of love for Krishna. And he was observing very bodily symptoms to express ecstatic love to Krishna. So he started to cry, and he started to roll. So there are Ashta Sattvic transformations. When devotee is in ecstasy, so you can observe some bodily symptoms. These are bodily symptoms, not the mental symptoms. The bodily symptoms to express the ecstatic love to Krishna, and those are very nicely mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. In Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami, he gives very scientific reasoning also why these phenomena occur. We are not going into those details. We'll just quickly go through the various bodily symptoms, and then we will conclude. So the first bodily symptom devotee can see. Now these bodily symptoms occur only when you have ecstatic love for Krishna, right? So let us see how many bodily symptoms we can see, and just see where are we standing. So the first bodily symptom we can see is dancing, and I think most of us are dancing in temple. So that is Prabhupada's mercy that we have such a nice temple here in remote part of the world, and we are able to dance next to the deities. So dancing is one of the symptoms, bodily symptoms, to express your ecstatic love to Krishna. And who can be amazing dancer than Lord Shiva? He's an Nataraj. Nobody's better than Shiva as far as dance is concerned. So Lord Shiva, when Lord Krishna he was doing rasa dance, Lord Shiva was also dancing, and it is mentioned even his son Ganeshji, Ganapati, he also danced. So the dancing is first symptom. Second symptom is rolling on the ground. This we don't see quite often in temple, or sometimes some devotees they do. I saw one video, I don't know, maybe from Western world, those devotees, they were rolling on the ground just like in a ball. That was very famous video on the social media. But this is not very common in all the temples, rolling on the ground. Akrura, the example is Akrura. When Kamsa ordered Akrura to get Krishna from Vrindavan to Mathura for his evil plan, because King Kamsa, he knew that Krishna and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, they will listen to Akrura, because Akrura was very beautiful devotee, amazing devotee of Lord Krishna. So when Akrura was coming from Mathura to Vrindavan, to Nandagaon, to Gokul, to get Krishna, when he reached to Vrindavan, he saw Krishna's footprints on the dust of Vrindavan. And when he saw those Krishna's footprints, he, out of love, he just jumped off his chariot, and then he, put on that Vrindavan dust on his head, which was marked with lotus feet of Lord Krishna, because Krishna, he was playing there, and then he went to his home from that road. And then after seeing those footmarks, Akrura actually rolled on the dust of Vrindavan. And still today, even Raman Reti devotees, they go there and they roll on the dust of the Vrindavan. Some of you might have experienced that. If you go to the Vrindavan, you just roll there. So rolling on the ground is another bodily symptoms. The next is singing loudly. Singing loudly, not like we are singing like a crow. Not like that. But example is given Narad Muni. Narad Muni, he was chanting so loudly and intensely that even Narsimha Dev manifested in front of him. And all the demons, they just disappeared when Narad Muni was loudly singing. The next symptom is stretching the body, stretching your body. Again, the example is Narad Muni, because Narad Muni, when he was remembering Krishna, he stretched his body so much that his sacred thread actually waved away. So this is how he stretched. The next symptom is crying loudly. We have been told that we should chant the name of the Lord just like a crying baby. Yeah? But most of the time we just cry artificially, not from the heart, just to show the devotees. Yeah. So the crying loudly. So when your heart is totally filled with profound love for Krishna, then you cry out of ecstasy. An example is gopis' love for Krishna. When Krishna was separated from gopis, they were crying incessantly. Their tears were not stopped, unstoppable, out of lamentation. Next bodily symptom, this is very interesting, yawning. And most of us yawn, but we yawn for some other reason. we don't yawn for the pleasure of Krishna. It is said that when full moon rises, lotus petal, they opens up, they expand. Yeah? And when Krishna appears before Radharani, Radharani's face is like lotus, and Radharani's face expands when she sees Krishna. Yeah? So this is yawning. The next symptom is breathing heavily. You're breathing really heavily. Yeah? Heavy breath. Lalita Sakhi, when she saw in Rasa dance that Krishna just disappeared, so she started to breathe heavily out of the separation from the Krishna. So that is breathing heavily. Next bodily symptom is neglecting the presence of others. You don't realize that, people are looking at me, devotees are looking at me. You are completely aloof from them, neglecting the presence. And then classical example is Dvijapatnis, the gopis. When Krishna was playing a flute in the middle of night, the gopis, they completely forgot that their husbands were sleeping in their homes, their kids were sleeping, and they just rushed towards Krishna. Their clothes were also not properly clothed there. So they were completely aloof from the other people. Next symptom is running down saliva from mouth. Sometimes saliva also comes from our mouth after seeing some cham cham or rasgulla or very delicious prasadam, yeah? or in a gross way, even after a long tiring sleep, some saliva comes from our mouth. But that has nothing to do with the ecstatic symptom that we are talking here, out of the love to the Krishna. Yeah? The example is Narad Muni again. Narad Muni, when he was chanting, he was totally stunned, and he didn't have control on his emotions and on the fluids coming from his mouth. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was crying, the tears would come like a perpendicular. Generally, tears are coming from our rolling on your cheeks, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the tears would come perpendicular, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would embrace the devotees, and devotee would get a bath out of tear. Now we cannot get this much amount of a tear out of our eyes, although we are in such a turmoilic situation, but we don't get this much volume of tear. So these are the symptoms of pure devotees. And then final bodily symptom is laughing like a madman. You are laughing like a madman, and people may consider this is a madman. Yeah? So these are the bodily symptoms, and who is here that can say that I have experienced all the these 8-10 bodily symptoms? Actually, all of us have experienced all these symptoms when we were a small child, right? We were dancing, we were rolling on the ground, we were singing loudly, we were stretching our body, we were crying loudly for mother. We were yawning, we were breathing heavily, we were neglecting the presence. Kids, they don't care, who is watching me while playing. We as an adult, we are cautious, but kids, they don't. And running down the saliva, kids, they do. And laughing like a madman, kids, they don't care if people are calling me mad or what. Yeah? So the kids, when we were younger, when we were small baby, we were observing these bodily symptoms. Of course, during that time, we were not remembering Krishna. That is another story. But we were observing these symptoms. Why? Because we were innocent when we were baby. Yeah? Our heart was not filled with hatred to other. Our heart was not touched with the Shadripu, 6 enemies: lust, greed, anger, pride, envy, arrogance. Yeah? And we had pure love, uncontaminated love for our mother or father or our family members, or who is taking care of us. We had unflinching, untinted, pure love for our parents or guardians. Yeah? And that is why we were able to experience those bodily symptoms. But as we started to grow up, then... Sorry?